Hey guys, how's it going? My name is Alex and this is The Car Creative. If this is your first time here, thanks for dropping by. If you've been here a while, it's good to see you. In this episode, I'm going to be talking about Hyundai. Why? Well, in my full-time job, we have been making a promotional film, and in said promotional film, we needed the use of 3 vehicles. Long story short, we had a connection to Precision Hyundai, and they were kind enough to lend us those 3 vehicles. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you guys a brief overview of what I think of those 3 vehicles. Now, of course, a lot of the footage that I got was for that film, so if I can get permissions, I'll show you guys as much of the footage as I can, but if not, I was able to create content with 2 of the 3 vehicles. The first one, I'll try my best to show you guys some of the content from that. So let's dive in. The first vehicle I was able to shoot was the Hyundai Tucson. It's like that mid-size SUV for kind of like a younger family or whoever wants a mid-size SUV, I suppose. But it was a really cool car. The interiors have really stepped it up a notch. But my first experience in a Hyundai was really good. The Tucson, to be honest, I like the design, I like the size, I like the capabilities of it. What I really appreciate about the Tucson was that they didn't really limit any of the features. Now, the way they work their models is they think they have the Essentials package, the Preferred package, and then it goes up from there to like a luxury, and I believe I had the Preferred package in the Tucson, but it had heated seats, heated steering wheel, leather seats, pretty much everything that you'd need, a ton of safety features like blindside detection, yada, yada, yada. All that to say, the driving experience is what I really liked about the Tucson. When you put your pedal down to the floor, like to the gas, it felt really connected for some reason. Like I've driven RAV4s in the past, I own a Nissan Rogue, and compared to those, it just put the power down to the engine and to the wheels really smoothly. The other thing I really appreciated was just the ride feel. It was quiet, it was smooth, it was just very enjoyable to drive. Now, we drove it out to the mountains and back, and it was just throughout that experience shockingly good. Moving on from that, we got to take a look at the brand new 2019 Santa Fe. For me, this was an exciting vehicle to get. I just really like the styling of these vehicles. We needed to do a shoot with a family, and so this was a very fitting vehicle for that shoot. And I was able to take it out the other day and get a quick review for you guys, so let's hop into that. All right guys, so here we are in the 2019 Hyundai Santa Fe, and we've got the beautiful bronze color, which I just think looks so good, so luxury. It's got all these fancy features that you would ever want, like it's very feature heavy. All these buttons like the back seats that fold down for you, super easy. It's got a heated steering wheel, heated seats, cooled seats, kind of everything that you would really need. Maybe not everything you'd want, but need, and it's fantastic. It's really an enjoyable experience. Inside is kind of a split for me. I think there's parts of it that I really like the touch features in here, like it's soft touch, it's beautiful. Parts of the dash I think are just stunning. Cool design features like in the speakers, how they kind of design that. I like the heads-up display, things of that nature. It's very comfortable. It's just nice. There's some things that I have a gripe with though, and I think the infotainment system comes across to me as a little bit basic. It's functional, it's incredibly functional, but it doesn't look fancy, and it doesn't, the buttons are still plastic, and I think that's maybe why it's an approachable vehicle, in that you get this luxury on the outside, but it's not super tidy, so you're not paying this big high number like you would maybe in an Audi or a Mercedes-Benz or something like that. But when it comes to the Hyundai brand, I didn't really know too much about it before getting into it, other than my experiences in high school with friends owning those big old bubbly Hyundai accents, and I guess they weren't big, they were tiny, but there's just no design features, nothing really to attract you to the Hyundai brand until recently. So now I'm very intrigued. This Santa Fe is packed with safety features. It's got lane departure assist, blind spot detection, which shows up on your heads-up display, which I find super helpful. You don't have to look in your mirrors to get those blinkers. You can actually see it up front there, which is really, really nice. One thing maybe that's a con for me is based around the turbo lag. I can't quite figure out that balance between not doing it enough and it starts really slowly, or pushing the pedal down just a little bit more and the car really taking off and jerking you and your passengers, and it's just not fun, not comfortable. One of the solutions I found for that was if you put the car's drive mode into sport mode, then it's a bit more responsive. It's been fun seeing and finding all the little, even hidden knickknacks and features that they've loaded into this car. Like in the back trunk, there's all these hidden storage features that you can put underneath your trunk lid, which is super helpful. Like, it's a small little feature they've added that just makes life a little bit easier, and I appreciate that. In the trunk, there's also the back seat release, which folds your seats down. Also super helpful. Just little things like that that make the driving experience a lot more enjoyable. Overall, this Santa Fe has been a real joy to drive. And the last vehicle was this really cool Kona. What? I don't know what I was beeping for. It's the key. And lastly, as you can see behind me here, we've got a Kona. We needed to film one for a young adult, and this is the sweet ride that we got for that. And for some reason, the design of this car just kind of gets me excited. I don't know, I think, if I'm being honest, I think what excites me about this car is that the headlights and the fog lights and the signals and stuff, I think the design is just nice. They did a really good job. And I really like the size of this car. I think it's that perfect balance, obviously, between the SUV and like a hatchback car or something, but it's really good. I like the size of it. I mean, being like tallish, it feels nice sitting in there. You feel like you've got a ton of room. There's tons of like light in the car. You can see everything. So the only thing about this Kona in particular that maybe is a con, or maybe we can see it as a pro here on this channel, was that they gave me the basics package, or I believe they call it the essentials. Now, the good thing is we were able to compare what, you know, their luxury or their preferred models would be versus the essentials, and see what's missing or see what maybe we need or like. So what we're gonna do, let's just go take this thing for a spin. We can talk about it, see what we like, see what we don't like, maybe in comparison to the Santa Fe and the Tucson. All right, guys, let's take this Kona out for a rip, hey? All right. But before we go anywhere, the first thing that you notice when you get in the car is plastic. Plastic. You don't want to rest your elbow on that. Plastic. 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 It's just everywhere. But what is comfortable is a seat. And what I can say about kind of like the cockpit area, it feels kind of like homey in a sense. Like it's big and all the dials are familiar. Like there's no fancy buttons because it's the essentials package. So you kind of like get what everything does. There's no like, how the heck do you change the air vents to hit me? They're right there. You know, it's just everything's really simple. The display is super simple. Very similar to the other Santa Fe, but again, plastic. It's got a smaller screen, and I think it's a lower resolution screen as well, which is a little bit disappointing. But same functionality, of course. Same buttons, just with a slightly different layout and a little more plastic. You still get Apple CarPlay, you still get the functionality of that and Android Auto. You still got USB plugins, you've got power ports up front here. I think you get a cubby here. So there's still really nice things. So even though this is the Essentials package, it actually comes with a ton of functionality. It has drive modes similar to all the other ones, which you wouldn't expect in like a base model car. You know, Sport, Eco, and then what do they call it? Normal? Normal. It has a heated steering wheel, heated seats, which is amazing for Canada because like half of our year is freezing cold. One thing that you kind of get as a downgrade is the steering wheel. Before you could push the buttons on all these dials. One would be like okay or cruise or whatever. But now the dials have kind of just, they aren't quite as pressy. And again, this is the base model. This isn't the turbo package. but it's got enough pep in its step to kind of get you where you need. I believe it's over 145 horsepower. And when you put it in sport mode, this thing actually kind of is pretty quick off the line. It's really responsive, kind of anticipates your gear actually. If you're braking, it will start downshifting to anticipate that you're going to accelerate, or maybe it's just using the engine to help you brake. I'm not sure, but that's a nice feature. There's not too much functionality in this that I could really go over that wouldn't be redundant, let's say, from the Santa Fe, other than they've stripped out a bunch of stuff. So you gotta save money somewhere, I suppose. But what's really nice that they keep in this thing all the time is all-wheel drive. So if you're looking for like a compact, sporty little car or SUV thing that has all-wheel drive, enough space, and still a lot of functionality but not a ton of bells and whistles, and it'll keep you warm. Heated steering wheel, heated seats. And this is a really good package. It's a really great car, actually. I'd say ultimately, if you are looking to purchase a Kona, I would step up to the preferred package. So I guess my overall thoughts on Hyundai after driving these three cars, I'm pleasantly surprised with them, to be honest. In the past, you know, you kind of judged Hyundai and Kia, I guess, as well, and they're just cheaper. They just feel cheaper, look cheaper, didn't really have any design features that were really like, oh, that's a nice car, I'd like to drive that. But I'm really pleasantly surprised that as the design has grown, the functionality has grown. Honestly, I really enjoy how they feel to drive. And by that I mean how they put the power down to the road, kind of how the transmission feels, where these ones, they just are really smooth rides. So if you're in the market for a Hyundai, they get my thumbs up. I think they've come a long way. So I don't know, what about you guys? What do you guys think about Hyundai? I mean, they're not a premium brand, which makes sense, but let me know in the comments below. Has your opinion started to change with them? Did you think poorly of them before? Did you own one? Again, these are my first experiences with them, so let me know what your guys' experiences are with Hyundais, if you like them or not. And lastly, I just want to say a big shout out to Precision Hyundai for lending us these vehicles for these projects. If you're in Calgary looking for a Hyundai, head over to Precision Hyundai. They're in the Calgary Auto Mall, and they'll treat you right there. So that's it, guys. Thank you for watching. If you stuck around right till the end, I appreciate it. Leave me a comment below. Give it a thumbs up if you appreciate this kind of content, and we will see you in the next one. Peace, guys. It's everywhere in here. Like, well, that's the one place it isn't. That's embarrassing. But seriously. That forward a bit. This is too far back. Yeah. All right, here we go. Nearly there, you guys. Nearly there. Oh yeah. Okay. Here we go. Off to the races, so to speak. Oh.